All right, folks, good afternoon. Specs in place. Wednesday. It's Wednesday and it's April. Tracking back through the week, it must 16, 17, 18. Is it the 18th? Maybe it's the 18th of April. Maybe. I'm back on home territory for a fleeting moment, just today actually, and then off again, bags packed, off again, another town, another train, but you know, movement snacks are sure to follow. Morning Maddie, soon to be afternoon. I'm just going to close the door. Hang on. How have we gone from British summertime to Baltic summertime again? Oh my goodness. I started the day in shorts. I don't know why. While I was still, you know, relaxing in a slumbery state, I could hear the birds, I could see the sun coming through the window, and then I opened the door. And then I decided that it wasn't a day for shorts. Dry but overcast and Cruden Bay, kind of where we are here. It's bizarre, isn't it? Driving back from Barnstable last night, went through beautiful sunshine, through to crazy hail. Afternoon, Jamie. Maddie, Super G is in. Maybe one of these will support today's noonday moves. Something tea towel-y. It may not be one of our iconic Make Movement Your Mission tea towels. Any tea towel will do. To hand, a bit of pincer grip flapping going on today. Everyday functional grip, some arm moves, some quick paced arm moves. That will always bring extra breaths, which is good. Extra breaths, extra beneficial breaths in the bag. Jillian with a G. There's some shoulders going on today. How is the recovery? Jillian with a G, please do let me know. What else? I've got some shoulder all-rangers and some hip all-rangers as well, with some extra knee control and knee bending. Jamie, what are you saying? -1 degrees in Ottawa. Oh my goodness. There's me complaining here. Jamie, I've just had a thought. Are you by any way connected in some way to D? I've got a thing in my memory. Not just that you're in from Canada. Great that you're in from Canada. I think you're 8 hours behind, I think, aren't you? 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Is that right? Is it 4 o'clock in the morning for you, Jamie? What you doing here? Hello, all ye Canadian movement snack mates. There is a few of you. Ah ha ha! There we go. All right, great. We do love family members here as movement snack mates, Jamie. Good to have you. It's midday. It's noon here in England. Shoulder is going well. Noon past. Sorry, Super G. I got chatting to Jamie is what I was doing there. All right, Jillian with the G. It's 7 a.m. You're 9 behind. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5. Only 5. I'm incommunicado with someone else in Canada who's 8, but I think they're much further downing. I'm guessing Canada spans a range of time zones. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, back to Sandy Lace Life Training. I'm not in the usual uniform. It's all packed for the next journey, folks. So here we go. Circulation boosting to start. Have some external support close to hand if you should need. Have the right footwear on your foot ends for you. Have a look, join in, or pick the ones that most work for you. Crowbar them in across your day. What you saying, Maddie? Oh, we've got a Canadian conversation going on. I'll have to have a look at that later, Maddie. It looks very interesting. We're going to get on with it. Is that 4.5 time zones in Canada, or 4 to 5? Oh my goodness, it's big, isn't it? It's big, isn't it? Right. circulation boosting to start. Where would you like to be? Besides a fixed firm support, if that works for you, or you may opt for seated option. Just spotted my shoelace, folks. I'm just going to rein that in a bit. Notice the hip hinge and knee bend. Note all of that. I'm sure you were. Circulation boosting to start then. Have a support if that works. Have a glance at what your feet are doing. Keep a gap between the feet. This will give you better balance. Extra lift and extend, so engage in your supporting part will give better balance and aid more fluid movement when you start the steady leg march. March, walk, whatever you should want to call it. Pick a pace that's comfortable for you. Use this support. This support here, it's a tool, it's an aid to support better movement, to remove any big balance challenges so that you can comfortably, fluidly move through the ankles, feet and toes. Keep the knees low. Use 2 hands if you should need to, and then start to add in the other moving parts. So it's steady range, focusing on shoulder movements, keeping the bend at the elbow. All this will aid and support more fluid, comfortable ranges of motion through these key landmarks of your body. This steady, consistent, rhythmical activity will bring with it a light lift in the heart rate. That's all you're after. Not to be out of breath, light lift. You may want to take a wider base, a bit of a knee bend, and then take the arms and legs separately. Slower and bigger. It's the quality of the range of motion. Slower and bigger on the top end. Bring the feet back to hip width, and steadily off you go again. Continue with that stand or upper as if you'd like. Here are your key prompts if you've opted for a seated circulation boost. Active and upright through the posture. This is going to make it easier for the hip walk forward. This is going to make it easier to stand if this is important to you. Bringing the feet back and changing the angle down the bottom end is going to enable you to get more range of motion around the ankles and the feet for the steady march if you've opted for this in a lower limb. Maintain all the uplift here. You may want to go for a low lift from the floor, but keep the knees low. Maintain the activity around your supporting parts, and then you can start to add in single arms or the doubles, or keep it separate. Other options on the top end could be light clasp of the hand, tucking the elbows in, and with that you get a steady rotate of the trunk. So all these moving parts are in your day. Everyday moves, everyday movements to support the things that are important to you. So keeping everything on the go and moving by way of short movement bouts. How does that feel for you? If you're in sit, you may want to take a hip walk back, and then go into a full back rest, or just have a moment of switch off. A couple of minutes, creaky chair today. A couple of minutes of cert boost is the aim. If you've been inactive for long periods, or sat for long periods, or really just want opportunity to move a bit more, that's what we're here to do. Okay, I have a focus. Full hip range and full shoulder range is themes today for the noon. But first, grabbing a tea towel, going for a bit of grip, everyday grip, a pincer grip, I call this. So ends of fingers, but a strong grip on the tea towel here, kind of there-ish. Starting with 2 hands. It's your everyday kind of flap, be that laundry, tea towels, clothing, whatever it is. So just take some light movement here. You've got a functional grip, you've got some wrist, you've got some elbow, and all of the shoulder, and of course the supporting parts on the go. If you keep consistent with this and steady and add duration, deeper breaths will continue to be required. So you might want to increase the severity of that flap, add the power, and then have a pause. It can be done, of course, in sit or in stand. Make it shorter if you're in sit, so that you're not going to start to, clout the cat as they're moving by. And then maybe some single arms. Now on the single arms, you can get extra range. So you can take a T-tail flap plus an extra bit of straightening through the back of the shoulder here. So you can generate more or less tension through the muscles as you want to. I've still got a bit of sore wrist from an incident a couple of weeks ago, so coordination isn't so good on that side for me. So that's just a general, get yourself going. You might want to go wider, you might want to go the narrow end. If you're in stand on this and you'd like to add some additional challenge, you might want to try it in a single leg stance, switching between the two, use that support if you would like. All right, that should have got your everyday grippage going, got your shoulders going, and you're keeping a ticking over of light heart rate. Okay, back knee bends I'm going for next. Stand and sit options for this. My intention is to make this more of a focus of a range of motion at the bending knee, not as a balance challenge. It does require you to come onto one leg, so extra support if you should like, either to the front or to the side. You could kind of nudge into that support there. Then take an extended hip back and then a controlled knee bend and return and back to base. So you're using the support here as extra confidence to take that weight shift. I'll turn to this angle so you can see. So this is knee bend practice. Loads of support to remove the balance challenge, put in an extension through the hip, and then with control, feel your way around your range of motion around the knee. You can keep it out there if you want. You could even put a return of the heel and then a press. Take these slow. Remove pace or momentum. So just work within a comfortable range of motion that's comfortable for you. Now, if you start to feel the back of the thighs literally cramp up, this is why I'm saying start small and slow. And if that's something that you experience, maybe practice more, building tolerance to that type of action. The muscles in the back of the thigh, you need your knees to bend. You need your knees to bend for all standing activities, getting out of a chair, etc. And of course, a lot of seated activities as well. So there's your back knee bend. No, key points. Feet remain hip width apart. And as the heel comes up, the thighs remain parallel to the floor. So have a check that you're not bringing the knee forward. And it might help to stand here at a table for that. So you definitely know you're rehearsing your knee bend and not your hip flexion. Now in sit, your knees are already bent, I hear you say. But you can add some extra practice to the muscles that bend the knee by placing the foot in front and then adding some resistance, literally dragging back through the floor, and then go as far as you comfortably can. The heel can come off and then back to base. So practicing maybe going a little bit further than you ordinarily would. And if you don't want the resistance of the floor, just practice stepping and bending that foot back. Keep it comfortable, remove any pace or momentum, nurturing, easing, staying within comfortable ranges of motion to bring your knees back. It's a critical range of motion, of course, isn't it? Especially if you're working towards getting out of a chair more easily, so that you can bring the feet back, have the heels down. This is the angle that's going to make it much easier for you to stand. So that's your back knee bend practice. Back into stands, a hip range one now. Again, my intention is to make this more about range of motion practice, not a balance challenge. So have a fixed firm support to the side for this one. Start small, shift the weight onto one leg and just practice a circle and return, a circle and return. You may want to go into the Zorro step and then return. So it's here, keep it small and back to base. gap between the feet at base here. Maintain lifted here. Check that it's comfortable and it's within a range of motion that's comfortable for you. It's a lift, it's a turn out, and then it's a back to base. But this standing leg here is essentially not moving. It's really supporting that movement there. And then to do the other thigh, have a turn around, and there you go again. If you want to break that down into smaller bite-sized bits, it's a raise, it's an open, it's a Zorro step, it's a back to base. You could just go here if you want to practice the rotation there. So you can rotate without lifting the knee. This movement of the hip is critical, isn't it, for all of your sideways, stepping, balance reactions, moving sideways, even standing and sitting and picking up objects are going to really require that range of motion. Start small, build over time. Start with the turning out, build it up over time. In sit. Your hip is already flexed here in sit. Now getting out of a chair from under tables does require that hip mobility. Depending on what kind of chair you're in, you could take some weight shifts across the buttocks with some controlled steps, shifting the weight, stepping round. It's not about bringing the knees high, more about the weight shift and then bending round. Now if you haven't got a chair that you can do that in, of course it goes without saying, rehearse and practice the hip walk backwards and the hip walks forwards. That's the chair creaking, not the hips. All right, so if we take the full range theme of hips and apply that to shoulders, in sit or stand, building through stages of range. So one side at a time, a raise and a lower, then go for the full circle, then lead a full circle with the elbow, then lead a full circle with the elbow but bigger, bring in some trunk turn there as well, and then if you want to, it's a palm up on the way out, a hand turn to the side, a bend back round. All comfortable. Bend the elbow to help this feel more comfortable so that you can really get more range. So rather than focusing on keeping the arm long, give I was going to say give your shoulder a break, but Gillian with a G. Don't do that. There. So it's a palm out functional reach. Turn it around, have a bend, and back you come. Same on the other side. If you're in stand, it's an up and a down, a circle, a lead with the elbow, small circle, a lead with the elbow, a bigger circle, palm up, turn, and around. And if you know support is required, use it. There. Slow, bigger, bigger. This is key, this bit, there. So just bear in mind, it's not always comfortable or helpful just to go into backstroke mode. That direction and turn of the hand is going to help or hinder. All right, I think that's it. What did we do? We did, here's the review. Pincer grip, flaps, double arms, wider or narrower, or single, with some extra back of arm squeeze. The same, in sit or stand. Decrease the length of your tea towel so that you don't start flapping the cat by accident. Then there was back knee bend practice, which was feet hip width apart, prepare the leg, control up and control down. Options here could be to lower the heel to the floor or return back to base. Prepare, back knee bend practice, have the support to the front or the side. In sit, a step forward and a step back, or easing your way in smaller increments, and adding resistance to have some extra friction, creating that extra resistance in the back of the thigh. All through a lifted posture, upright position here, using hands on support for the chair if you would like. everyday function, knee bend alongside all that stability of the hips and the upright posture. All of this stuff is required in all your activities of daily living. And then we had the hip or range, either the innies and the outies, adding a circle and a Zorro step, or adding a whole turn. Strong supporting stance leg there. Keep that low, keep it under the hip and comfortable. It's not about doing loads and loads. It might just be 1 or 2 of these, but frequently across your day. And then there was the shoulder range, building with small moves, adding on the move, adding on bigger ranges each time, adding on a bit more leverage each time, maintaining always to focus on your stability down the bottom end and all your supporting parts doing the job. That's it. That's your, you know, do more of what you can do, Maddie. Yes, yes, yes. Rosemary, afternoon, good to see you. I can see Paul in as well. Good to see you all, folks. Pick the ones that mean the most to you. Pick the ones that you feel are going to benefit you the most. I'm not saying that all of these moves are for all of you. So we give you a selection. It's like a pick and mix. All right, I better go. What am I doing? I'll see you later at 4. It may well be that I need to delay that to 4:30, but I will let you know. Good to see you, folks. Hello, all you catcher-uppers, and a special hello to Canadian Movement Snack Mates, wherever you are. Bye for now.